In the last video, we learnt about some major European regions where we learnt about the Scandinavian countries, that is right here. Then we learnt about the Benelux or the lowland countries, that is right here. And then we learnt about West European countries, which is right here. In this video, we will be learning about other major European regions, and we'll also get to know some interesting facts about the countries belonging to each European region. Let's start with Central Europe. The Central European regions have all these countries. Let's name them. So we have Germany right here with Berlin as its capital. Then we have Czech Republic right here in the middle with Prague as its capital. Then we have Poland right here with Warsaw as its capital, followed by Switzerland, that is here, with Bern as its capital. Then we have Austria and Hungary right here and here with Vienna and Budapest as its capital respectively. And finally, we have Italy and Slovakia, that is here and here, with Rome and Bratislava as its capital. Let's talk about the capital of Germany first. Yes, we are talking about Berlin. Berlin, the capital of Germany, is home to 3 UNESCO World Heritage Sites. And what are these World Heritage Sites? We have the Museum Island. Then we have the Sausi Palace and Parks in Potsdam. And finally, we have Modernism housing estates. All of them are unique in their own selves. Let's talk about each of them. Coming to the Museum Island first. The Museum Island is not just any island with one museum building. It's an ensemble of 6 museum buildings, out of which 5 are from the ancient ages when Prussian rulers used to rule Germany. And 1 is a modern museum building which is known as the James Simon Gallery. It's a beautiful artwork and it is one of the most visited museum buildings in Europe. Now coming to Sausi Palace and Parks in Potsdam. So, the Sausi Park is a huge park that surrounds the Sausi Palace, and it's a beautiful place to visit. Now coming to Modernism housing estates. The Modernism housing estates reflects with the highest degree of quality urbanism, architecture, and the innovation of vintage and aesthetics, particularly of the early 20th century. These estates got the UNESCO World Heritage status in the year 1990. Also, the Museum Island got the UNESCO World Heritage status in the year 1999. So if you ever happen to visit Germany, or Europe rather, then you must come to visit this beautiful UNESCO World Heritage sites. Now let's walk into the city of 1,000 spires. Do you know what is a spire? Have you ever seen a church tower? Yes, exactly. A church tower can be called a spire. So Prague, which is the capital of Czech Republic, is known as a city of 1,000 spires. Now, isn't it beautiful? It actually is. This city is one of Europe's architectural gems, absolutely. And it's an important UNESCO World Heritage Site. So if you ever sit down to do a rough sketch of this city, then the most prominent feature will be these beautiful spires. So here we learned about the Central Europe. Now let's talk about Iberian Peninsula, which is right here. Now, if you ever happen to go to a spa, then these countries of the Iberian Peninsula will definitely cross your mind. Why so? Well, let's see. So if we see or notice the word spa, we see that each letter in the word actually acts as initial for the countries of the Iberian Peninsula. Let's see how. So here S stands for Spain, while P stands for Portugal and A here stands for Andorra. So we have Spain, Portugal and Andorra as the three countries belonging to the Iberian Peninsula. So these countries are bordered by the North Atlantic Ocean to its west and by the Mediterranean Sea to its south. Now let us locate the capital of these countries. So we have Lisbon for Portugal, then we have Madrid for Spain, and finally we have Andorra la Vella for Andorra. Look at this picture. What do you think? Don't you think that it's a newly constructed place? All the buildings here are newly painted. All look so fresh and new. But interestingly, this is one of the most oldest countries in Europe. This is Portugal. So Portugal is the oldest country in Europe. So this beautiful place may look very, very new, but it's actually the oldest country in Europe. So this was all about the Iberian Peninsula. Now let us come to the Balkan states. The Balkan states are right in the southern part of the European continent, just near the Black Sea. However, if we zoom in to the Balkan states, we see that we have the Black Sea to its east, and the tail of the Balkan states is surrounded by the Mediterranean Sea. Now let us point out the countries and their respective capitals in the Balkan states. Going to Slovenia. Slovenia here is right at the top with its capital Ljubljana. Then we have Croatia right here with Zagreb as its capital. Following this, we have Bosnia and Herzegovina with Sarajevo with its capital. Then right below Bosnia and Herzegovina, we have Montenegro right here with Podgorica as its capital. South to Montenegro, we have Albania with Tirana as its capital. And right to the southern part, to the very tail of the Balkan states, we have the country of Greece with Athens as its capital. Now right above Greece, we have Macedonia right here. And the capital of Macedonia is Skopje. Right beside Macedonia, we have Bulgaria with Sofia as its capital. And finally, the largest Balkan country is Romania with Bucharest as its capital. So these were the 9 countries of the Balkan states. Before moving on, help me answer this question. Which European region do we find around the Black Sea? Is it the Scandinavia or Scandinavian countries, or the Balkan states, or the Benelux or lowland countries, or the Central Europe? Yes, we just learnt it is the Balkan states that we find near the or around the Black Sea. What do you see here? Have you ever seen this monument? Well, let me tell you, this is known as an amphitheater. Now, what exactly is an amphitheater? Well, an amphitheater is a place where the Roman gladiators, they were armed and they used to fight with other gladiators. This fight scene used to act as a source of entertainment for the crowd of spectators of the Roman Empire, right? So in the whole world, there are only 3 such preserved amphitheaters, out of which only one is in Croatia. Now, if you remember, Croatia is a part of the Balkan states. So this beautiful monument, or rather amphitheater, throws light on the Roman history. Now let's come to the city of Athens. If you remember, Athens is right at the very tail, at the southern part of Greece and by extension of the Balkan states. So Athens is the capital of Greece. Now what's so interesting about this place? This place has a beautiful historical and mythological history. The whole world is crazy about the Olympic Games. Well, do you know where the first modern Olympic Games was held? The first modern Olympic Games was held in Athens in the year 1896. Yes. Now let's come to another interesting event or fact. So the first clock tower, yes, the first clock tower with the name Tower of the Winds was built or established in Athens. It's a beautiful place to visit, and besides being the first clock tower, it is also the first meteorological station in the world. So this was all about the Balkan states. Now let's come to the Baltic states. But don't confuse the Baltic states with the Balkan states. Now let's locate them to have a clearer understanding. So the Balkan states, while are here right in the southern part of Europe, the Baltic states are right here on the eastern part of the European continent, right? So you see they have different locations. We just learnt about the Balkan states, and now we are going to learn about the Baltic states. Now the countries in the Baltic states have got their name from the Baltic Sea. Now since they are located right beside the Baltic Sea is why they are known as the Baltic states. Now let us name these Baltic states. So we have Lithuania right here with Vilnius as its capital. Then we have Latvia with Riga as its capital, and finally we have Estonia with Estonia as its capital. So these three countries comprise the Baltic states. Now, so let's first come to Estonia, which is right in the north of the Baltic states. What's so special about this country? Well, Estonia was the first country in the world to allow its citizens to vote online. Yes, and this happened in the year 2005. This is one of the greatest achievements in the technological field. Now, from the very north, that is Estonia, let's travel down to the south of the Baltic states, that is to Lithuania. Now, what's so special about it? Well, we find the oldest oak tree in the world in Lithuania. Do you know what this oak tree is called? Well, the oldest oak tree in Lithuania is called the Stelmus oak. So this beautiful oak tree, besides being the oldest oak tree, that is 1500 years old, it is 23 meters in height, and it takes around 8 to 9 people to only hug its trunk. So this was all about the Baltic states. Here we finished learning about all the major European regions and interesting facts about countries from each European region. Do you remember in the last video we talked about the evolution of different European countries over the years? So Europe was not how it is at present, right? It has witnessed the emergence of new countries and the disappearance of the old ones. Now this has happened majorly due to unification of countries or disintegration of these countries. We also pointed out the most important unification, that is of East Germany and West Germany, and we talked about the most important disintegration, that was the disintegration of USSR into 15 new states, right? So though on one hand Europe was experiencing the political division on various fields and various parts of Europe, on the other hand, it also witnessed the emergence and formation of some very important political unions, right? So out of all these political unions, the most important political union please note it down, in Europe is the European Union, or EU as it is called. Please note that the member states or the member countries of this political union have a different or a separate citizenship. This EU citizenship is just additional to the already existing national citizenship. So this EU citizenship does not replace the national citizenship, but is only additional to it. Now, so this political union is very, very important for the member countries because it provides these countries and its citizens with rights, freedom, and legal protection under the EU law, right? So it acts as a very important governing body which provides its citizens, the EU citizens, under the EU law with rights, freedom, and legal protection. Besides that, this particular political union also aims at enhancing the political and economic integration among all the member countries, right? So it helps in maintaining peace and stability among all these countries. And finally, it also aims to govern the socio-economic and security issues. So it's not only giving them an additional citizenship with additional rights, freedoms, and legal protection, it's not only providing or enhancing a political and economic integration between these countries, but also keeping in mind or keeping in check the security issues and socio-economic issues. So this is acting efficiently to provide the best to the countries that are part of this political union. Now, do you remember Oslo, the capital of Norway? Yes, in the last video we learned that Oslo has a distinctive brown building called the Oslo City Hall. This Oslo City Hall acts or serves as a host for the award ceremony of the prestigious Nobel Peace Prize. The Nobel Peace Prize was awarded to the European Union in the year 2012. So you see, this particular recognition in the form of Nobel Peace Prize is not only justifying its efforts, but also its existence as a very important political union. Now let us talk about the single currency. Yes, a milestone declaration was made with the introduction of a single currency named as Euro by the European Union. So the European Union introduced a single currency named Euro. Now this introduction of single currency was a milestone declaration. Now why do you think so? Now the single currency Euro was introduced to promote growth, stability, and economic integration among the countries of Europe. However, after the December elections of 2019, right, the British Parliament finally ratified the withdrawal agreement with the European Union. So British Parliament signed on the withdrawal agreement that it no more wants to be a part of the European Union. And so UK is no more a part of the European Union and uses its own currency. Therefore, it does not use euro, but it uses its own currency. So we just learned that UK withdrew its membership from the political union, that is the European Union, and is no more a part of this union. So now at present, the European Union has 27 member states, right? So the European flag is an official symbol used by the Council of Europe, that is the regional organization representing Europe, and European Union, that is a political union of 27 states, as I just mentioned. So this European flag is a national symbol or official symbol for both these organizations or unions. Right. So why do you think that the regional organization of Europe and the Union of 27 states have the same official symbol. This is only to portray or highlight that the cause for peace, the cause for unification, and the cause for economic stability is extremely strong among all the countries of Europe, right? So in this video, we learned about other major European regions. We also learned about some very interesting facts about countries and cities from these European regions. We further learned that the most important political union in Europe is the European Union. Now, this European Union is not any European Union. It has proved its efforts and existence by receiving the Nobel Peace Prize in the year 2012. Right? So this particular political union provides freedoms, rights, legal protection, and an additional EU citizenship to its member states, and always does its best to enhance political and economic integration among these countries. We further learnt that the EU, or the European Union, introduced a single currency called euro. Now this was a milestone declaration. Why? Because this single currency was introduced in order to promote the economic stability and peace among all these countries. We finally learned about the European flag, or the flag of Europe, that acts as an official symbol for both the Council of Europe and the European Union. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon. You can also register for free at DeltaStep.com or download the DeltaStep app to learn one-to-one with our amazing teachers, or to get access to all our 5,000 plus amazing videos as per your school syllabus. Master each topic with our adaptive practice technology. Get million plus questions with step-by-step solutions and unlimited mock test. Get all your doubts resolved instantly. Learn via games and win amazing prizes like PlayStations and iPads. So at DeltaStep, learning is not just fun and easy, it is rewarding too. So register for free now.